Hey everybody, welcome back to What the Flick. Getting caught up on Fargo, Meredith, Alonso. I need these titles in front of me. The Principle of Restricted Choice, episode 2, and The Law of Non-Contradiction, episode 3. Golly, well, you want to start with episode 3 because that was bananas.
That was so good. Like, all right, so last night I'm watching and I was like, I don't know, man, I'm not feeling the season. And then we just have a full Carrie Coon episode, and it was fantastic. And they actually shot stuff here in LA.
I know, that was disconcerting. Like, I love the shot of her on the phone where like, we cut to that school bus in the middle of, okay, all right, that's Fargo.
Yeah, that's Fargo. But I was like, oh, are they going to try to do Vancouver for LA? I'm like, oh, nope, there's that motel off of Hollywood Boulevard that I drive by sometimes.
Yeah.
So, no, it was fantastic. I really liked getting to know her character a lot more. I feel like grounding her as, the titular character should be
Well, she's not playing Donna Fargo, but yes, I know what you mean.
Well, the
protagonist.
Yeah, and it made me really, it felt like a really solid episode, and it made me, appreciate the season where I was, like I said, I was waffling, because season 2 is one of my favorite seasons of television ever, so... and we got some good backstory with everyone.
I love all the flashback stuff with Thomas Mann. I love the casting of Francesca Eastwood and Frances Fisher as the same character, since they're mother and daughter. Here's how old I am.
Oh no!
The first year that I was programming the USA Film Festival in Dallas, our opening night movie was this film that starred Frances Fisher called The Stars Fell on Henrietta. That Francesca Eastwood was in as literally a baby in her arms.
Oh my God.
And now she is a sultry 70s sci-fi siren. So, that's how old I am. So I loved that she's digging through this stuff. The weird stuff with the motel room, the machine that turns itself off, and then finding out later that so does the android Minsky.
I'm like, I could watch a whole Minsky series.
Me too.
Can we get the Y book out? Can we please? It was really good.
That was I loved the Minsky stuff. And again, it's one of those things where I want to know where it's all going to tie in at the end. And I'm still trying to figure out where the East Germans tie in. Remember, we have them too.
Yeah, because now we know that Thaddeus, he got his name off a toilet bowl. His a pseudonym, I guess.
Yeah, and he did again. I guess that I think that's our answer for the East Germans. You're right, because he was in the wrong place with the wrong name at the wrong time.
Exactly, and that's just how it worked out.
Yeah, I loved the stuff with Ray Wise and with the cop who you think might be a love interest. It's like, oh no, you're just an asshole.
I know. I was like, oh, okay, I see where this is going. But then we've got the new chief back in Fargo.
Oh, brother, yes. Yeah, okay, so in episode 2, the new chief is here. He wants computers now, which apparently, why am I blanking on her name? Gloria is not a fan of it all.
Nobody in that town really seems to understand, because you had Irv. Trying to figure out Google, a Google search.
Oh, right.
Yeah, before you got off. Yeah, I actually ended up watching 2 and 3 back to back, so they all kind of blend together as one solid episode.
Yeah. So meanwhile, you've got ostensibly bald Ewan McGregor trying to make peace with hairy Ewan McGregor, but that was just all a scheme so that the girlfriend could go in and
it was just
try and seal the thing.
misunderstanding the whole time. Isn't that Fargo?
I love the scene where Michael Stuhlbarg rams his Hummer into the precious Corvette and then skids out of control. And it's like, that's the metaphor for this entire show.
Yes.
It's people are trying to do one shitty thing and it spirals into multiple shitty things that are beyond your control.
I almost thought he was gonna die. Part of me almost hoped, at that point I was like, yo, you're a real jerk, But yeah, God, and then the fiance, just the tampon.
Oh God!
I know. I'm like, that was a little much.
How vivid!
I know. I'm like, I didn't need to see that. I really didn't. It's too many reminders. But yeah, so it looks like, oh God, and then VM. Can we talk about?
Oh God, yes.
So he just rolls up with his boys and we're gonna just leave this semi here, and then we're just gonna invade your offices and take over this whole wing.
Yeah, and if you try and get anybody to help you, we will kill them.
Yeah, we will. Yeah.
So yeah, that's all terrifying. And again, what I love about this show, among the many things I love about the show, is how you have. No one knows everything that's going on. No. Carrie Coon is just trying to figure out who killed her step grandfather. You've got the parole officer is just trying to like, get this stamp and cover up the murder of the guy that he sent to rip off his brother that went horribly awry. And then, but he knows nothing about VM and about them laundering money through the parking lot company. So like everybody's operating on their own thing, but there's intertwining stuff that there's no one omniscient character that is
and it will all eventually collide. I want to know more about VM because he just seems more like a super villain. He just doesn't seem like just a bad guy. I'm like, this is some comic book level like Lex Luthor level shenanigans.
Well, yeah, there's the air of mystery when you just when you dial a phone number, there's nothing but clicks, and you suddenly have $1 million or whatever.
Or he can suddenly figure out your video on. Let's be honest, 2012. I don't think your par for the course PCs had front-facing cameras. Just saying.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, maybe so for 2010.
Unless it was like Mac. But it was just I'm like, oh, we're getting some cyber espionage. All right, that's cool. But like he's too creepy, but too powerful.
Right.
I'm not used to a character like this existing in the Fargo universe.
I guess. I mean, I kind of think of Billy Bob Thornton that way.
Oh, that's true. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying it's a nice twist.
Yeah, I mean, because the season 2 villains, I think, were very much in charge of their own, like, sort of tiny domain, but they didn't seem.
They were grounded in their, in that very McCoy and. The Hatfields and McCoy.
Oh, right, sure, yeah. So, but no, I certainly buy the character,
no, I totally do.
and we certainly are given these other guys as people who can be outsmarted, let us say. I think we're on to there was somebody who early on, some TV critic that I follow on Facebook, kind of said, as a semi-diss, well, Fargo season 3 is better than True Detective season 2. So I kind of went in going, is this not going to be good? Is this going to be only so? But I'm in so far. That person may have seen more episodes than me, but after these 3, I definitely want to see where this is all going.
I think I can kind of get that because 1 and 2 just felt rinse repeat, more of the same. 3 really changed. It changed the whole way that Fargo has been done, giving us a full episode dedicated to essentially a character past and present. So I wonder how we're going to go forward if we're going to return to 1 and 2, which I'm sure it'll still be that almost vignettes of different characters, or if we're going to get a different storytelling device. So.
Well, yeah, because I think what's ultimately kind of so cool about this last episode is not only that they would devote an entire episode to this flashback, but they've devoted an entire episode to a flashback that has nothing to do with the murder.
I know.
It's just sheer coincidence. She now knows more about her stepfather's former life, but that's it.
And I wonder if just that plays into the larger narrative going forward of who not who am I, but finding oneself and making oneself. You can you think you come from this one set of circumstances, and then you find out it's completely been manufactured, and what that sort of leaves on a person. And it does tie into the Stussy brothers about the fluke of. He just happened to have the stamp that made him the money, and the other, ended up being a parole officer.
Right.
So I think there's a larger arching narrative that I haven't quite honed in on, but I'm getting close.
Well, I think the producer's speech about quantum physics. I think this is a show that believes very much in random encounters and just sort of things that unspool in a way that is chaotic, but that nonetheless has repercussions.
And I'm just looking forward to. We keep getting the sci-fi space thing. It might tie back to season 2.
That's true. I know. I was thinking about that. Yeah, that's certainly a possibility. All right, so we're in. We hope you are. Catch us next week. Thanks.